Welcome everybody to the first episode of Celebrities in Rimworld. Today we've got a star-laden cast of 3 internet influencers you will surely enjoy. First on the docket, we've got Jake Paul, internet bad boy and known looter. As you can see, we have a lot of cosmetic work to do because Jake Paul is not usually known to be a naked woman with pigtails. For our first step in customization, we must figure out 3 traits to assign to him based on my limited understanding of him. Yep. And that's about... no, wait, not quite right. There we go. To recap our cosmetician's work so far, here's what we've got for Jake. As a child, he was an abandoned orphan, and as an adult, an Rimworld's sex slave. Everyone on the Rimworld's gotta have a tragic story, and this just happened to be Jake's. To make up for the complete lack of survival skills, we are giving Jake the ability of being a planet-leading master in art because he is just so damn good at manipulating children. For our next victim, contestant, we've got KEEMSTAR, YouTube's resident boomer. Let me tell you folks, abducting this guy was not easy. He had this bloodlust in his eyes and he wouldn't stop biting the out of my crew. It was absolutely insane, you wouldn't believe. Unfortunately, his mustache has been deemed irremovable by our scientists due to some form of encrusted hatred present just above his upper lip. We know just how much you humans love your branding, so in sympathy, we've decided to let KEEMSTAR wear his very own G Fuel merch today. Considering the payout might not matter due to being mauled by a wild animal or stabbed by a crazed fan, he refused to back down and threatened to kill himself. So here we are. Now you all may be thinking, who could the final member of this amazing cast be? And it is Ethan from H3H3, the Fupa himself. To maintain a realistic outlook, we've determined that Ethan's body is most closely related to this picture of an orangutan, offering him immense skill in laboring activities such as construction, mining, and of course, working in the fields. With a stature like he has, it's easy to distinguish that Ethan is a gourmand. He knows his food and he can definitely wolf it down. As of recently, we have determined that Ethan is completely unhinged. This is our decision factor in determining to make him volatile over another trait. The man is insane. Our experts have decided to keep it to 2 for now because these 2 traits alone are going to make him truly a force to be reckoned with out in the field. As per usual with our cosmeticians hard at work to ensure brand continuity, we've decided to give Ethan a trench coat and nothing else in order to represent how he usually dresses in real life. In addition to this trench coat, we've also decided to give him a psychic foil helmet, just because this man is completely unhinged and we think it's what he deserves. As far as backstory goes, the jury is still out on what to give Ethan. Awkward nerd. With the finalization of Ethan, the crew is all ready to go, with their stats optimized and finalized to reflect what they are actually like in the real world. So let's get those drop pods rolling and see what we can get up to. Right off the bat, we've got our contestants finally dropping into their permanent home. And as you can see, they're probably lost and confused right about now. Stuck on this alien planet with absolutely no vegetation around, and probably one of the most hostile places on the planet also. First on the docket is making these people a nice beautiful home, so we're going to transmit some instructions to them up here from our spaceship to allow them to build a nice house for themselves to die in. As you can see here, Jake Paul is actually putting in some work in a surprising turn of events. He is hauling this wood to the building in order to allow Ethan to build it easier. And as you can see, Ethan is using his massive frame to construct these walls with complete ease. Truly a feat of human engineering. Due to an almost complete lack of wood in the natural environment here, it's likely they're going to have to force KEEMSTAR into the mines for the rest of his natural life to get resources. As you can see here, we've got the ruins of some ancient civilization. This is foreboding for our group, as obviously whoever was here perished. And it looks like we've got some urns, perhaps an ancient burial site? Oh, here comes Jake Paul running straight in to desecrate it. That's great. As you can see here, KEEMSTAR, as the bloodlusted freak that he is, has decided to pick up a bolt-action rifle. God knows what he's going to do with the thing, but it does not look good for our entire colony when this man is allowed to have weaponry. Welcome back everyone. As we meander into our second day on the Rimworld, we actually have some trivia for you all. So, the question is, when and where was Ethan born? Option A, June 15th, 1991, in Colorado, USA. B, June 15th, 1990, in Tel Aviv, Israel. Or C, June 24th, 1985, in California, USA? Make sure to comment your answer down below and wait until the end of the video for the solution. We are going to transmit the contestants the blueprints for a butcher table, because it is apparent that Jake Paul is going to start killing innocent animals for content pretty soon. As you can all see, we've actually got an eclipse, which probably means that our denizens have angered the sky gods of this alien world. That's a very bad omen, folks. Almost as if on cue, we can actually see that a raid is coming in, so that bad omen definitely paid off. We're going to activate battle mode here real quick. And let's get started analyzing the situation. So as you can see, we're in a pretty defendable spot considering they can't come from behind us, so we are going to get Ethan to build these barricades, which will help with defending against any stray bullets that could possibly come our way. Now this may be an absolute possibility, considering that the two hostile men approaching have machine pistols, so hopefully we can get Ethan to build these. KEEMSTAR is going to be our main defender here, considering both his skills with weapon and his bloodlust. In addition to this, using KEEMSTAR's jogging trait may be a valid strategy, considering that no one can run quite as fast as him.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
And we can actually take a peek here. Ethan, not very many shooting skills. However, KEEMSTAR does have this jogging trait, which will definitely be helpful if we manage to get him on a flank. So we're going to draft KEEMSTAR here and hopefully take him up and around to engage them before they can even move in. However, it looks like they're beginning their assault now, and we did send KEEMSTAR the wrong way, so hopefully he'll be able to get up there before they can. Oh, look at him go! He is so fast! KEEMSTAR certainly has the range advantage here, considering he has a bolt-action rifle compared to their machine pistols. So hopefully we can get KEEMSTAR distance just a little bit from him. As you can tell, he kind of ran up on him, and this was definitely a mistake on his part, because these men with the machine pistols at close range will be devastating to your internal organs. So we're gonna draft Ethan here and hopefully get him on the front lines. He does have a revolver, so this should hopefully help with at least a little bit of suppressive fire, maybe scare off the raiders a little bit. And actually, little known fact, this guy's high off his ass. Now remember folks, these are no regular old crazed raiders. These are fans that we've abducted and dropped off on this planet alongside them. So hopefully they know the weaknesses and the ins and outs of these people's lives, considering their online personas. So we will see how this will affect their defense. Are these fans going to know the strategies they're thinking about using? What if they've mentioned what they would do if crazed raiders tried to attack them on an alien planet in one of their videos? See, this is the kind of thing you don't account for when you're a public figure. Regardless of any niche knowledge that these people may possess, they are still getting shot at. Oh, and it looks like KEEMSTAR manages to hit one of their spines. That is just brutal. This is truly highlighting KEEMSTAR's accuracy with the guns and just being an overall beast of a man in this colony. It's a good thing he hasn't used those skills on his fellow colonists so far. However, it does look like KEEMSTAR is taking shots from the machine pistol here, so he'll be falling back behind that wind turbine in order to take cover. The wind turbine is getting put in harm's way. Oh, and it looks like KEEMSTAR got another shot, center body mass with that bolt-action rifle. Now that has gotta hurt. It looks like they are being slowed down by the barrage of gunfire, however, and they're taking cover behind the wind turbines as well, which is not going to be good for the structural integrity of them. As you can all see, things are quickly... Oh, and it looks like Ethan has been hit! He took a graze on his leg from the machine pistol. Not too bad of an injury. Oh, it looks like they managed to get one of the raiders as well. I believe that was one of KEEMSTAR's bullets, just going straight through him there. Ethan isn't hitting much, and it looks like they broke the wind turbine. I predicted this one, folks. You could have seen this one coming from a mile away. It does look like they got both of the raiders, however, so our colony is safe for now. However, with the lack of proper medical treatment area, it may seem to be that Ethan's leg could get infected, even from a graze like this, sleeping on the dirt in there, so we will see. After that very intense and probably gut-wrenching engagement, we're going to queue back up the wind turbine, but they are having a much-needed rest. And welcome everybody to the third day on the Rim with our celebrity crew. Now, as you can see, KEEMSTAR is just going ahead and cleaning up the wreck from last night's raid. It looks like everyone did manage to get through it in one piece, as well as have a nice peaceful sleep. Hopefully we can get Ethan up to build that wind turbine back up, so they can finish their freezer finally. As you can see here, we actually have our first mental breakdown. Jake Paul has completely lost his marbles, probably used to being bathed in luxury. This new environment has proven more than tough for him. He is now going to be hiding in his room, which also happens to be everyone's room and the storeroom. Now, as we can see over here with Ethan cooking meals and Bozo, the dog we sent with him, of course. As we can see here, Ethan is just cooking all of the meals for the group stark naked, which is very troubling to see. Folks, we have got something very serious going down right here. We've got KEEMSTAR and Ethan in a horseshoe battle to the death. As you can see, they are locked in complete combat. They're throwing horseshoe after horseshoe. Who will be the first to land a horseshoe? Oh. This is getting intense, folks. This is getting very intense. Oh, and Ethan threw his last and walked, and KEEMSTAR manages to secure the win. Wow, Ethan walking away in shame. As you can see, KEEMSTAR is just going on a victory lap here. That deserves an absolute award for KEEMSTAR. Just beautiful performance on the field today. And with deteriorating spirits, you can see that our influencers have decided to finally want to name their town and faction. Of course, we're going to name their faction the influencers and their town, obviously. Almost immediately holding up to the name, we've got another raid coming for our influencers. As you can see, these people are far less better equipped than our previous raiders, boasting only a short bow and a club. However, this is still no laughing matter, as any dedicated melee unit could do some serious damage if they manage to get in. But as you can see, we've got plenty of time before they get here, so in response, we are going to rally everyone to their defensive positions. Besides, of course, Jake Paul, who is actually incapable of violence. Now, as everyone can see, they are rapidly closing in, actually. They are about to pass the desecrated grave site, of course, at the hands of Jake Paul, which may well have been the cause of these repeated raids. I mean, just tearing apart something like that with your bare hands probably angers some people high up. But as you can see, they're fairly confident in their ability here. Jake Paul is going to cower in the storeroom as usual. They're even spinning their guns. They think they've got this one completely in the bag. Looks like they got some increased confidence going. Finally, they have arrived at the battlements, and as you can see, they are just closing in quickly. Ethan actually managed to hit a shot there, which may well have been his first shot hit. Oh, and as you can see, the melee unit, like I predicted, closed in on KEEMSTAR very quickly, doing some serious damage to him with that club. He's simply not giving them a chance to back up and use his guns on him. But it does look like he's doing some serious damage to our people. And KEEMSTAR got stunned for a second there. Hopefully, just the two of them combined, using their guns as melee weapons, are going to be able to take this man. And it looks like they managed to get him. That leaves solely the last ranged unit left, who is once again hiding behind the turbine. And hopefully, they're going to be able to get him before he destroys the turbine with his ranged attacks. As you can all see, this battle is really getting drawn out. This man with the short bow is truly having a last stand against our gun-wielding men here. And as you can see, almost as if on cue, after mentioning the ranged attacks might bring down the turbine, they did manage to bring out the turbine. Now, with that battle finally over, we can evaluate our losses here. It seems that everyone managed to get pretty damaged and beat up in that. As you can see, especially Ethan with that bleeding there. And it is truly painful. Oh, and it looks like KEEMSTAR got all sorts of bruises and cuts from that club. That melee unit knew exactly what he was doing. However, they are all dead, and now everyone can peacefully sleep the night away. And with an immediate interjection to their peaceful sleeping, we actually have another raid going down. Now, this is not looking good because it does appear to be actually two groups, one of which is armed with a melee weapon and a pistol on each side. This is a total of 4 people, and our KEEMSTAR and Ethan, the only ones capable of combat, are still damaged. They have not recovered from the last fight, let alone even be treated for their wounds. As you can see there, KEEMSTAR is actually not even capable of moving at his regular speed due to these injuries. So it is going to be very interesting to see how this is going to turn out. This may very well be the killing blow to our group here. Who could have seen this coming, truly? This is tragic. Now, as we can see, things are definitely kicking off here. Oh, and it looks like immediately KEEMSTAR managed to land a headshot, shooting off one of the raiders' ears. As you can see, we've got a melee unit closing in quickly. This man is going to do some serious damage if he manages to make it any closer. And oh, it looks like they managed to kill him before he could get any closer. They're still taking heavy fire, and we've got another melee unit moving in here. Oh, going straight in on KEEMSTAR. It looks like he actually has a knife. This is doing much more severe damage than the club. And KEEMSTAR is down. This is not good. He's immediately going after Ethan. Will Ethan be able to fight him off before he goes down? Oh, Ethan is down! The Raiders actually down both Keemstar and Ethan. And Jake Paul, and it looks like the Raiders are just kidnapping them. Jake Paul can't actually do much in his current state because, as you all know, he's incapable of violence in this. I mean, it's usually not the case. However, he was assigned because of his tragic backstory, the possibility of being incapable of violence. So it looks like they're just going to kidnap Keemstar and Ethan. And Jake Paul, after futilely chasing after them, was unable to convince them to let them go, apparently. I mean, not being able to arm himself with any sort of weapons or any real method of rescuing them, it's not looking good for Jake Paul. And as you can see, the Raiders are just carrying off Keemstar and Ethan here. And the fire is rapidly closing in on Jake here, so we'll see how this goes down. Well, folks, everyone is gone and dead. Jake Paul burned to death in a superheated wood building after being unable to escape once the wall of flames grew larger and larger. This is truly a tragic end to the saga, and these influencers didn't actually happen to last very long. As you can see, the only one that's left is Bozo, the future of these influencers here. Hopefully, he will fill the void left by their content now that they are all gone and dead. As you can see, the crop fields are burned down. Everything is complete rubble except the roofs that Ethan built at one point. Truly a tragic end to their story, and not one many would see coming, especially due to the ferocity for which they all fought for their home. Unfortunately, the natural order of things has taken a turn for the worse here. However, it's not the end. We have plenty more influencers to kidnap and force into this horrible, horrible situation. So, if you'd like to see anyone forced onto the Rimworld next with all the customization and cosmeticians and death that follows, please drop their names in the comments. And if you liked the series so far, please be sure to drop a like and a subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And finally, to wrap the story arc up very nicely, the answer to the trivia from earlier in the episode was C. If you got it right, please let me know in the comments. I'm Jetto, and thank you all for watching.